Jade rolled her eyes and gave him a bobby pin. Christian opened the door, and he gave her a book on the Laveau bloodline. It was a set of 3 books. Jade took one, and the other was taken by Christian. Despite being homeschooled, Jade was a brilliant student. She read the book before Christian could complete his. "These books are all about how great my ancestors were. God, I am sick of reading about them. Why are they doing this to me if they were so great?" Jade asked in frustration. "Jade, you don't even know if this is your ancestors' doing," Christian argued. "Oh, okay. Then what is the reason that I don't have any powers?" Jade asked as she crossed her arms and looked at Christian straight in his eyes. "I don't know, but I will tell you why. My mother died while giving birth to me, and this is my ancestors' way of punishing me for it. I will never get my powers, Christian," Jade said before breaking into tears. "Hey, don't cry. Look what I found here," Christian said as he tried to cheer Jade up. "It's written here that if any witch or wizard of Laveau bloodline kisses their soulmate, they share their powers." "Kiss another witch?" Jade whispered to herself. Christian suggested, "What if I kiss you? Maybe you will get some of my powers?" Jade was stunned by Christian's bizarre proposal, but she was desperate to get powers, and she was ready to try anything. Moreover, she believed that nothing could go wrong if she kissed her best friend. To Christian's surprise, Jade nodded. She closed her eyes as Christian started to lean in for the kiss. However, the night was still young, and Jade and Christian would be fools to think that they were alone. A pair of emerald eyes were fixated on them from behind the large window pane to their left. "Christian, I have a feeling that someone's watching us," Jade whispered. Her eyes were still closed, and their lips were inches apart. "No one is here, Jade," Christian said as he cupped her face. It was one of the best nights for Christian. But suddenly, a loud ringing interrupted their quiet moment. "Crap! I'm dead!" Jade said as she looked at her phone, which was blowing up from calls from her father, Lucius Laveau. A smile formed upon the man's face who was witnessing this from behind the window pane as he heard Jade's phone ring. "Just in time," he whispered to himself. About an hour later, at Laveau's mansion. As Jade entered the house, she was greeted with darkness. "Wait, why are all the lights off?" Jade whispered to herself. "Maybe Dad slept and forgot about me?" Jade tried to convince herself. "I can never forget what you did tonight, Jade," a familiar voice called from the other corner of the room. "Glimastus," was chanted by Lucius, and the lights of the house turned on. "Dad, you messed with my head," Jade complained. "And you messed with the rules of this house," Lucius said as he stood up from his chair and walked toward Jade. Jade crossed her arms and looked straight into her father's eyes. "And now you're the one showing attitude," Lucius said. Jade eased up a little as she chuckled to herself after listening to her father. "I am sorry. I shouldn't have gone out without telling you," Jade said as she broke eye contact. "That's better. But the thing I want to know is, why did you sneak out?" Lucius asks as he puts his hand over her back, and they both move with the same pace toward Lucius's desk. "Well, promise me you won't get mad at Christian?" Jade demanded. "I am not promising anything until I hear the story," said Lucius, as he sat down on his chair and Jade sat across from her father. "Christian came to meet me this morning." Jade took a pause to gauge her father's reaction. "So?" grunted Lucius. "So, he told me about his school and about this huge library which certainly has books on our bloodline, and he thought that there might be some answers about how I could get my powers," Jade said. "Dad, he was only trying to help me. Please don't be mad," Jade said with puppy eyes. She knew her father would never say no to those eyes. Being an only daughter had its perks, but for Jade, these perks were nothing compared to the restrictions she had. "That I can see. But why do you need help? You know your birthday is around the corner, and you'll read the prophecy written by our ancestors on your birthday and get every answer you desire," Jade's father reassured her. "I don't know that, Dad. Our ancestors are the ones who probably took away my powers. Why would they give them to me so easily?" Jade argued. "Anyway, Dad, I am too tired to talk about ancestors," Jade said as she started massaging her temples. "I haven't mentioned your punishment yet, and you already have a headache?" Lucius teased Jade and gave her a clever smile. "But Dad..." Before Jade could finish, Lucius interrupted her in his hoarse voice. "You are banned from seeing Christian until your birthday." Lucius got up from his chair and started walking towards the door on his right. "Wow, what a big mistake I made by sneaking out, right? You're the reason I sneaked out in the first place," Jade shouted in frustration as she looked at her father leaving. "I am the reason?" Lucius turned around and asked with confusion. "Yes. No one, no witch in the country has been burdened with restrictions except me. You told me all these stories about how bad the situation was outside, but you know what? When I went out tonight, I saw a different world. Why did you do this to me, Dad? Or wait, I should ask, why are you still doing this to me?" Jade finished, her breath heavy. Lucius's voice suddenly choked up in front of Jade. With a faint voice, he said, "I am concerned for you, Jade." "But why, Dad? Christian told me that you established the peace between witches and vampires. Why am I still not allowed to step outside? This house is suffocating me. You can't keep me here forever," Jade declared, tears rolling down her cheeks. "Jade, my darling, please don't cry," Lucius said as he walked toward Jade and pulled her into a warm hug. "Please understand, my dear. Whatever I am doing is for your safety. You're the only daughter of the president of the Witch Union. There are people, animals out there, thirsty for revenge, for blood, and you're the easiest target," Lucius said as tears started to form in his eyes as well. "You don't have your powers yet, and I can't lose you, darling. I cannot live without you, especially not after your mother," Lucius continued further. Jade pulled away from her father's arms and looked at his old face. Few wrinkles had started to appear on his face. She accepted her father's care and love for her and looked straight into his eyes and said, "I'm sorry, Dad, for causing you so much pain. I love you a lot, and I promise I won't go against your wishes ever again." Lucius placed a kiss on her forehead and said, "It's late. You should go to bed." Jade nodded and left. Lucius took a deep breath and looked up toward the sky. Later that night, 3:56 a.m., the backyard of Laveau's mansion. "In this unholy time, this darkest hour, we call upon the sacred powers. Three together stand alone, command the unseen to be shown." Lucius Laveau chanted as he was holding the hands of two other wizards. The flames of the fire burning in the center rose higher as the prayer finished. A deep and grim voice began to speak from it. "See the cruelty and the pain that he had caused once again. When the light fades and dusk comes through, she will emerge as the world's greatest power. Pave her way, that she shall grant us all peace. It has started, my child. Jade's fate is calling her, and you need to become the reason for the accomplishment of her fate." As the voice faded, every wizard looked at Lucius. Lucius was looking straight at the flames. "We're lucky that the ancestors chose us for this holy work. If they want me to become the medium for Jade's fate, then I will make sure of it. I will organize the charity gala on her birthday, where she'll read the prophecy."